welcome to my backyard. Hi everybody.
Hey.
My son and I are hanging out in my backyard. Oh, there's some of my faithful followers and hearts coming up already. Hey guys, I'm going to get comfortable. Ooh, Tracy joined. Oh, and Angela Kerrigan, Oily Mom, Melody. Wow, great. I have got a few people that have not been on lately. Sade is on at her lunch break. That is great. And I see Cecily. Hi, good to see you. Oh, Miran. Rachel. Oh, hey Cecily,
hi.
I got your package in the mail finally. Lena.
Lena.
Hi, Lena. Oh, good
How's
to
it
see
going?
all of you guys. I'm going to go ahead and get started. Miran said hi.
Hey, Miran.
And Kendall. Hi, Kendall. I love you. I love you. So, y'all, I was my son stopped by on his lunch break today, and I grabbed him and said, hey, Periscope with me, because, Brooke said hi. He is going to be celebrating the anniversary next month in December. And he got married in December 2008. Your assistant manager's watching. Good, Sade. Oh, hello from Ukraine. Cool, cool. Well, we are here in the Dallas, Texas area, and I'll introduce myself first. I'm Trina Titus Lozano. Oh, I'm so glad that you love my Periscopes. Cecily said congratulations. Oh, Crystal's watching. Hi. So y'all, I'm a counselor and an ordained Christian minister, and I specialize in marriage and family, and I am very committed to spending time helping marriages improve, helping marriages grow, helping marriages stabilize, helping engaged couples prepare for marriage. For a lot of reasons, I'm committed to helping with that. So I hope you guys are enjoying my Periscopes, and I love to always give you wisdom twice a day at noon and 9. Check out my website, TrinaTitusLozano.com, for older Periscopes about relationships, emotional health, marriage, and family. My son, Brandon, he is full of wisdom, and we were just having a casual conversation, and it was time to Periscope, and I thought we could bring the casual conversation to y'all, get y'all in on it. So I hope that you appreciate that. And by the way, thanks for the hearts. The more hearts, the better. That way we know that you guys are enjoying it. By the way, thanks for watching, all of you on the watch on the replay. Really appreciate that, too. Amy from McKinney, awesome, great. Glad things are going well for you and your daughter. So Brandon has just discovered some things that are really working for him, and he was so excited about them that we were just sharing and talking. So would you tell my Periscopers what you have recently discovered?
Yeah, so can you all hear me okay?
Yeah, they can.
We're outside, okay. So let me know if I need to speak up. Well, the first thing that we've done that was different, I'd say our marriage changed pretty dramatically about 2 years ago.
Okay.
I think so. What had happened was, okay, good. My wife and I just created a pretty terrible environment, to be honest, for her to live in. And I was afraid of things, and I just kept trying to control her and really try to change her to someone that I thought that I wanted, but really it was just, things that I were afraid of. And so what ended up happening was, she became a shell of herself, and then, over time I'm going, wait, who is this person? She's different. And what happened was, she never really changed. She just never felt comfortable to be herself. And so, the first big tip, and the thing that really changed, was just creating an environment of safety for your spouse or your girlfriend or boyfriend to be themselves. And what happens is they start becoming that person that they're not afraid to have a response that's different than yours. They're not afraid to, look a certain way, or they just feel very comfortable. And then you're going, oh wait, that's the same person that I fell in love with 7 years ago. And my wife and I went to a counseling session, and the counselor said,
do we recommend counseling?
Yeah.
Y'all, you do not have to have big problems to go see a counselor. Go see a counselor, even if you just need some tips on how to communicate better. Counseling is awesome and so important. So y'all, I encourage you to go get some counseling. And I appreciate that my son was not too proud to get some help and to say, hey, mom, who can you recommend? Of course, I couldn't be their counselor, but I recommended a good friend, and I just appreciate that he wasn't too proud or too embarrassed to go get some counseling. And so that was awesome that you guys did that.
Yeah, I mean, it was
beneficial.
It was really beneficial, and we were both, I think a perfect marriage is when you guys are both fighting so hard for each other.
Sure.
And you're willing to put down your opinions and your thoughts if whatever it is isn't working. So, but what the counselor said that really struck home with me was, she goes, bottom line, you can't change people. And she said you can only change what you believe about them.
Oh, wait, repeat that.
Yeah.
Change what you believe about them. Okay.
Yeah. And
expand on that a little bit.
Yeah, you can't control people. You can't change people. You can only change what you believe about them. So she said, okay, so let's go through this exercise. And she said, all right, who is Chelsea on the greatest day? Who is Chelsea? And so, you list off everything that's great about her, and she's selfless, and she's loving, and she's thoughtful, and all the truths about her, really. And she goes, okay. And she goes, draw a line. And she goes, now, what do you believe about them? What do you believe about her when you're in conflict? And so I'm going, okay, she's controlling, she's manipulative,
Whatever.
she's all of the negative things that really aren't true.
But
because
in conflict, yeah.
Right. So in conflict,
your fears,
those are all emotionally charged fears.
Fear-based reactions, yeah.
Right, so whenever I could separate those without being so emotionally tied to it, I can sit down and go, okay, wait a second. Number one, let me look in the mirror and see what I can take responsibility for.
That's right.
And we kind of have a saying now of, hey, I own that, like I own this, and each finding something that we can both own in the conflict, because...
And you could be first to own it, and you should.
Oh, yeah.
So whoever's listening right now, you be first to own something.
Right. Yeah, and
you have to own something, because I promise you, if you're in conflict, you both got to own something, but you're not sure if they'll own their part, but at the very least, start with owning your own.
Right. So, say, hey, I own this, and then actually going to the Lord and saying, hey, what, guys, there's something here that I'm missing, before you even have the conversation of trying to resolve the conflict. But,
that's not what you can change about yourself.
Right, and then go ask yourself, hey, what am I believing about you? Is that, and then you can go back to your chart that you made and just go, hey, okay, wait a second, I'm not believing
I'm going to choose to believe the best about you.
Right.
And bring out the best in you.
Right, and so, the other thing, too, in conflict resolution is whenever she grew up in an environment to where she didn't get over things really quickly, and she needed some time to go and do that. And but the way that I grew up was we resolved conflict immediately, and so
yeah, in the present.
So in that moment, I wasn't creating a safe environment for her to be herself, because I was expecting her to change to the way that I grew up.
Yes.
And she's like, that's not me. That's not how I do things. Here's how I do things. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's great. That's how you do things.
I need to appreciate that.
Yeah, I do things differently. You do things differently, and you're okay to be that person. You don't have to get over something.
my way.
Right.
Yeah.
But the thing that we couldn't let go on was just not resolving conflict. So, we couldn't just be nicer. or
Conflict has to be resolved, y'all. There's one thing you have to know. Conflict has to be resolved.
Yeah, and so where we met in the middle was I said, okay, within 24 hours, let's have this conversation.
Okay.
So that's how we do it now.
Thanks for sharing, Sade.
Yeah, and so that's the first.
So you created a deadline that was a compromise.
Right, as a compromise that wasn't my expectation of how she should respond.
Right.
I let her respond. If she needed time to go and to think about it, then that's okay. I don't have an expectation of her that's not her.
Says, no, you need to stop being mad. You need to get over it right now.
Right. Why can't you?
That's never going to get it. Yeah.
Why can't you? Yeah.
I apologize, so forgive me now.
Right.
Right.
So that's number one, and that's really been a pivotal thing, not just in our relationship, but in how we treat other people, how we treat jobs, and how we treat, opportunities, or even other family members. Hey, you know what? I'm gonna make sure that I'm choosing to believe the best thing about you.
Believe the best about you. So y'all, there's tip number one.
And what's funny?
Believe the best about them.
Is the other night, Levi, our 5-year-old, he was saying, he was eating something for dinner, and he's like, oh, I don't like it. And I said, all right, that may be true. It may not be good, and you may not like it. But you can always find something positive to say about it instead of hurting someone's feelings.
Yeah.
So, hey, this was really warm, and I'm not hungry anymore.
And it has vitamins.
You can choose to believe a positive thing about that meal, even if it is a really poorly cooked bad meal. And that is the truth. You choose to believe the positive thing about it. So
it was warm. It was on the table. We're all together, and we're not hungry anymore.
Yeah. So
I love that. Okay.
So my wife and I, we both feel like we're comfortable and safe to be ourselves, and it's so freeing.
Y'all, this is the best. This is the best thing. And then I want him to give a second tip. So number one, resolve conflict by believing the best about the other person. Okay. And I want to say something about this. Whenever they said you hit it on the spot, Brian Carver said you hit it on the spot. That's awesome. Also, y'all, I think it's great because when they need to have a conversation that's a serious conversation about something that's going to be maybe a sore subject, I love what he says. They say their little catchphrase is it safe?
Yeah. Oh, we'll go. Is it a safe place?
Is this a safe place? That'll be the question. And whenever they say, is this a safe place? That means, is it safe for me to tell you something that I feel like might need improvement, or that I feel like I'm struggling with? So is this a safe place? Isn't that a great question?
Yeah, so we'll start it off that way. And it's really good because then it's that mental check where you can go, oh wait, yes, I do need to create that for you.
And yes, this is a safe place.
It is
Let
a
me
safe
create
place.
that for you. That this is safe.
Right. It's
you don't
like
have to worry about the fight.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about the conflict. We can disagree. We can have a conversation, and it's going to be safe. We won't attack each other. Isn't that great? Is this a safe place? I love that.
Yeah. So that's if someone were to come over, you would create an environment for them, and so that's that trigger to create that environment.
That's awesome.
So the second thing was, we've almost been married for 7 years now, and the second best tip actually was just recently. We have 3 kids, and so 5, 3, and 1, and finding time, intentional, good quality time with each other is really difficult. And because we want to have time for ourselves as well, and but what ended up happening is we kept going, oh gosh, we just need to have some more dates, and we need to just connect. Like, we kind of felt a little distant, just going through the
motions
everyday
of life, taking care of 3 kids, and one has special needs, by the way. So there's some challenges that they have.
Yeah, and so the thing that just happens most naturally is that you want to be selfish and go, okay, wait, I just need like 30 minutes, an hour. But then after that time, then you're still kind of stuck in that mentality, and a lot of time goes by.
And that you'll lose the whole evening of just being on your phone or watching your own TV show, or
even if you're doing things together, we still felt like we weren't connecting. So we actually got it's just a small, really quick devotional. It's called The Uncommon Marriage.
The Uncommon Marriage by Coach
Tony Dungy.
Coach. Excellent, y'all. So write that down. There's your note. There's tip number 2. There's your note. Get that devotional.
Yeah, well, the tip goes further than that, because really any devotional would be great, because what you're creating, so we put all of our kids to bed, and then the first thing that we do is go, okay, let's get the devotional out. And what that does is it just starts that conversation to have a good connecting
Starts the
conversation.
evening off right. You prioritize
Right.
your quality time. You prioritize doing a
Yeah.
really, yeah.
I mean, the most important thing is that you have something that initiates a real adult, vulnerable, safe, genuine conversation.
Right.
And not just saving it for date nights, because then typically at a date night you probably want to be selfish again, right? Because you have your own time and go, wait, I want to go to this place, or I want to go do this, or
Yeah.
it's really hard to have an intentional, serious conversation.
And even a date
unless-
night can be just so distracted
Yeah, unless you just really are used to creating that conversation
on a
And
regular
so
basis.
It's
Great
sometimes
habit,
that,
right, Rachel?
yeah, sometimes that devotion is only 5 minutes, and sometimes it turns into 2 hours because it sparks up a real conversation that will have nothing to do with that devotion, really.
Yeah.
But then,
Opens the door.
yeah, and she doesn't feel like too much time has gone by, and I don't feel like too much time has gone by before we've actually had a real, genuine connection. So.
And I love it because then when you do have a date night, if you just want to do an activity, you're going to have more fun because you're already connecting emotionally.
And say,
Y'all,
I have to go and talk to him about these million
that's
different things.
right.
Yeah.
Vulnerability is the key to connection. Remember that? That's right. And it's conversation. It does not have to do with the kids. It does not have to do with schedules. It doesn't have to do with anything else. Now, it might open the door to conversations like that, but it's a vulnerable conversation that's really on an intellectual level, on an adult level. And y'all, that's going to help your sex life too. And I bet it has with y'all as well. But we won't go too much into that one. That'll be too awkward with my son. But y'all, seriously, I was a sex educator, so my kids grew up with me talking about sex all the time. But you guys, because the emotional connection is what we all need, and vulnerability is the key to connecting with God and the key to connecting with your spouse and with your friends and everybody else. So you've got to have that vulnerability, but that can't happen without scheduling the quality time together. And he said his number one love language is quality time, and hers is acts of service. But he said earlier today, it's funny because doing that devotional and him taking the initiative to doing that devotional, which anyone can take the initiative, but to doing that devotional right after the kids put to bed, he says she's actually thinking of that as an act of service. So that's really great. So it's really filling both of their love tanks. And then when they finally get to bed, they already are feeling emotionally connected, and then they can connect physically and
Yeah,
well,
I
and
mean-
actually with the devotional, you're spiritually connecting as well.
Right.
So.
And so, you know, all of those ads, that's kind of a lot to chew on, but it's really simple. It's just starting those conversations of vulnerability and like, hey, I want to connect with you, but I don't know how to do that. You
Yeah.
know, it's like, how do you start that conversation whenever you're just watching TV, or if you're doing something else? You really just need to find a trigger, whatever that is.
Yeah.
To say, hey, let's sit down and do something for 5 minutes to where we eliminate all distractions and our focus is on
Yeah.
growing in our relationship.
Yeah.
And so,
I love it. That's a great tip. Okay, y'all. Those are two great tips from my son.
yeah, the uncommon.
The Uncommon Marriage. That is it. So Rachel, type that again by Tony Dungy. And everybody could see it, okay? So type that again. Brian said, great job, Brandon.
thanks,
Trina.
Brian.
Y'all, those are 2 tips from my son. How many of you guys know if it works out really well, when your kids grow up, they'll teach you. So I can't wait till my husband watches this on a replay, and he's going to know that he and I need to do these two things. We need to ask each other if it's a safe place before we resolve a conflict, and then we need to believe the best about each other while we're resolving the conflict. And there you go. We need to get this devotional. I think he would love it because he loves football and he loves integrity and he loves the Bible.
And it's
so
actually him and his wife. So
he and his wife are doing it together.
Yeah, they go back and forth. She does.
Maybe a he says, she says kind of thing.
Yeah, and so
it's
you get
two
both.
perspectives.
You get both perspectives, and it deals with everything. You know, family things they go through, trials. It's a really short read. Each devotional is like a page and a half.
That was
But
perfect. I think, honey, I think that you could do that.
Yeah.
I think that we could do that together. So, you know, and he travels a lot, so we could even do that on FaceTime or over the phone,
Yeah.
so that we can do that devotional every day. Okay, y'all, we're going to do those 2 tips. We're going to implement that in our marriage, and I hope you guys do too. Thanks for the conversation today, honey. I love you. You're so sweet. He's the best son ever. The best son ever. Okay, tied for the best
Yeah,
ever.
we're tied.
Bryson
We're
doesn't
tied.
watch my Periscope, so I can say that. Y'all, he actually also manages my website, and he created it, and I am so grateful for that. So props for Brandon, and thank you so much for volunteering his time to do my website, which you can type up there if you want, TrinaTitusLozano.com for older Periscopes. But this is going to be a favorite, so you can put this on the website.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Bye, you guys.
All
Poor
right, see ya.
Bryson. You know what? Bryson cannot wait to be on here giving marriage tips and marriage advice someday. He is such an awesome son. I love him too. Y'all, I tell all 4 of my kids they're my favorite. I don't know. You probably do that too. God bless you guys. Thanks, Sade, for typing that up, and I'll see you later tonight. Y'all have a great day. Bye-bye.